own page. I was definitely heavily influenced by people that I was seeing online that had all of their beautiful plants. And when I saw this, I was really, really excited. I actually don't remember, I'm gonna pull that leaf, it's ugly and dying, but I actually don't remember why I picked up this plant. I think maybe I had seen it online. I actually don't remember, but I do remember being really excited about it because it had a bunch of stems in it. So it was very, very full and it was quite large at the time. So, I mean, it was the biggest plant that I had owned because a lot of my plants previous to that, or maybe right after that, were all cuttings, which have funny stories in and of themselves. And it's so beautiful even to this day. It definitely could use like a good dusting and maybe some clearing of some more leaves, but my ficus tend to not do amazing in the winter time. Like they kind of hold on, but in the summertime is where they really thrive and look super beautiful. And this plant in particular was home to many a tree frog at our house in Missouri. We lived on wooded acreage, so we had lots of different wildlife, and they absolutely loved this plant right here. So I'm excited to see what wildlife move in on it this year. It's planted in a very large terracotta pot, and honestly, putting it in this big pot was a game changer for this plant. I feel like it finally had room to just grow because ficus are trees. Like when you see the huge trees like in California, in Hawaii, those are oftentimes some version of a ficus. Not every time, but a lot of the time. And I think just giving it room to grow changed its life. It changed its trajectory, and it's been so much happier since I did that. Very excited for many, many, many more years to come, many more homes to come, and just, yeah, watching it grow and change over the years. So when I was in college, I did a lot of house sitting. That's probably like a very staple gig job for a college student. And some of the people that I house sat for, one in particular had really, really beautiful plants. And I want to say up front that this was not an ethical thing to do. I really don't agree with this in modern day. And if somebody did this in my collection, I think I'd be pretty sad. But basically I was house sitting, I was dog sitting and plant sitting. Like they just wanted me to water them like maybe one time while they were gone. And I had no idea how to take care of plants at this point. Like I really was just learning. And I started house sitting for this one woman, and I walked into her house and she had so many plants, like so many. And I wouldn't say that it was like a super curated collection like the one that I have now. It was kind of like, she likes plants, they're growing and they're coexisting. Like it didn't feel like, now that I've seen so many other people's collections, it didn't feel like a collection that was like she was like looking for the rare plants. You know what I mean? Like she probably got cuttings from like this person and like started plants and everything else. Doesn't make what I did better, but what I did was she had this really scraggly plant and I did not know what it was, and it had a bunch of different stems and leaves going in a bunch of different directions. So I picked one that was a little bit more inconspicuous and I took one leaf. At this point, thankfully, I had learned that you needed a node, and I think that I had very minimal knowledge on all of that because, again, I was Instagram creeping a lot of the time in my spare time. So what that plant ended up doing was it rooted, and then it very quickly put out a new leaf, and then another new leaf, and then another leaf. And then it became clear to me that that plant was a Monstera deliciosa, this very one right here. So it started out from a leaf that was no bigger than my palm, and it's now this. Like, this plant is huge. I actually cannot lift it just due to the pot that it's in. If you watched my greenhouse tours video, you saw me give it like a little bit of a revamp. It has this new leaf that just came out. Like, to this day, that is one of the most formative experiences that I've had in houseplants, like watching this Monstera deliciosa go from this tiny leaf to this. It's just one of the coolest plants to watch grow, and that's why I always recommend it to beginners, because you never know what the next leaf is going to look like. And I feel like when you're new to something, and especially like if you're a person who kind of jumps around from hobby to hobby, it might be nice to have a plant that kind of keeps you on your toes. Like, you never know what it's going to do next. Variegated plants are also really great for that. Like plants that have unique variegation on each leaf, like that, those are also really great plants for this type of thing. But anyway, eventually I ended up finding another similarly sized Monstera deliciosa on Marketplace. I think it was, like I said, a year to a year and a half after I bought my first one, or stole my first one, and I ended up potting them together, and that's what you see here. So there's 2 plants in here. Actually, I think there's probably there's actually 4 plants in here, but it originated, my original plant is one of those 4, and I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one at the top right here, I think. But honestly, it's been so many times that I've repotted it so many times and moved things around that I've kind of lost track of which was which. And honestly, they all look the same now, but one of those is the original plant. And I just think it's a really cool experience to watch this plant go from tiny leaf to big fenestrated leaf. First they get these fenestrations, and then they get the inner fenestrations, and then they get more inner fenestrations. It's just really cool, and I would highly suggest this plant to buy in a juvenile form. I've actually made a video that was plants to buy small, because they do go through such a big change, and I believe this was one of the plants that I put in that video. I love the Monstera deliciosa so much. I have an elbow, which is right here, that I bought a couple years after that, and then I have a Thai constellation, and all 3 of these plants are definitely in the top 10 favorite plants in my collection, because they're just the best. We're gonna slide her over so she doesn't totally steal the show, even though she would love that. And we're going to talk about the next plant, which is this Scindapsus pictus exotica. And for this being one of the oldest plants in my collection, you really would think it would be bigger. But honestly, it has not been a plant that has widely thrived in my collection. But as you can see, it's really healthy now and doing better. It was on the wall in my plant room, kind of high up, and so it was not getting the watering that it should have for a lot of its life. Since we've been at this house, it's a lot lower, and I have less plants, so I'm able to put a lot more love and interest in it. I have just struggled a lot with leafy plants like this in the past, and it's something that I really want to be better at moving forward, because these are the plants that make such a beautiful impact in a collection. Look at these leaves. They're so beautiful. And even through winter, you can see that it's putting out new growth, which is so exciting. It's definitely not been a thing that it's done in the past. A new leaf was honestly very rare. And I have potted in other Scindapsus exotica that I've got from plant swaps and stuff like that in with this plant. So the original plant is in here, but this is not fully the original plant, because it would have been 1 vine, and we have maybe not 1 vine, maybe it would have been 3 of the vines, because I remember I chopped 3 or 4 leaves to begin, and each leaf will start its own vine. And this is one where the person never said anything about me chopping it, but it would have been really noticeable that I did chop it. And now, being a plant person, I would have been so mad. I would have been so annoyed at the little twerp that I trusted to watch my house who cut my plant. But they never said anything, and I don't know if they really regarded their collections the same way that I do. So maybe the plant was just a plant in their house that they watered and they didn't really keep tabs on it very much. I don't know. That's kind of what I was hoping for. But oh my gosh, there are roots coming out the bottom. We might need to address this. In a coming repotting video. I kind of want to put it in a prettier pot, because since it's been in my collection for so long, this pot feels a little anticlimactic. So I might go on Etsy and see if I can find a really beautiful ceramic handmade pot for her, because she deserves something a little better than this. So anyway, I hope that this video is a great encouragement to you to keep taking care of your plants so that they can live long, happy lives alongside us, go through all of our life stages with us. It's definitely a really sweet thing to see these plants go through so many different stages, and remember back to all of the times that I remember with them, being in college with these plants, living in my first apartment with my husband, living in the house with my baby, watering these plants while I'm holding my baby, and also watering them when I was pregnant with her, and now being in this home, another life transition, and I still have the same plants. I don't know, it's just a really sweet sense of stability, and knowing that I was a big part of them continuing on their life. Obviously they would die if I just left them and didn't take care of them. Sometimes they get a little close. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I make plant videos once a week, so I hope that if you are interested in this type of content, you should subscribe. I am here for all of it. I'm here for all of the plant journeys. Give this video a like to let YouTube know that you like it, of course. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.